Okay, we're live. Let's rock and roll.
Let's do it. Welcome. What's up?
Athletes, coaches, and parents, welcome to the most important preseason training session. You're probably not going to get anywhere else. I'm Erin Sarles.
And I'm Thomas, and we're here from Blueprint to Blue Chip. While everyone's focused on getting their bodies ready for the season, we're going to talk about we're going to talk about the part of training that actually determines whether you win or lose, and that's your character.
Awesome. Before we dive in,
drop your name and the sport in the chat so we know who's in the room today. Thomas is going to be monitoring our chat throughout, so keep the questions and comments coming.
Let me start with a reality check. Every single athlete who's going to show up at your seat for this season has been training their body all summer. Most have been working on their skills in camps with trainers in the gym, et cetera, et cetera.
But here's the question
that separates champions from everyone else. How many have been intentionally conditioning their character? And I'm not just talking about being a good person. I'm talking about systematic character development.
Your body gets you on the field, your skills get you noticed, your character gets you trusted, and your character wins championships. Character's like a muscle. If you don't train it, it fails under pressure.
So true, Thomas.
You and I have seen that play out hundreds of times. The most talented players who can't handle adversity, the skilled athlete who crumbles when the stakes get really high, and the star who destroys team chemistry because they never developed their character.
So, what is character conditioning?
Just like you have a strength training program and a cardio program, you need a character conditioning program.
So let's break it down into 5 core areas. First is mental toughness. That's your pressure response system. How do you handle criticism, setbacks, high stakes moments without losing focus?
Awesome. And the second one is
moral courage.
Doing what's right even when it costs you. When teammates
won't, when coaches don't see, when it hurts your status or playing time.
Next, emotional discipline. Self-regulation under stress, controlling your reactions, bouncing back from mistakes, staying composed when everything else seems to be falling apart.
The fourth one is
rational intelligence, your team chemistry skills, building trust, resolving conflict, elevating the people around you.
Awesome. Last one is leadership capacity. Influence that elevates others around you, not just being a captain, but being someone others can follow. Just because you're not a captain doesn't mean you can't be a leader.
I love that. That's so important.
And I agree with you, Thomas. So let's get interactive. We're going to do a character fitness test right now. And we're going to walk you through this. And I want you to be brutally honest. This is for you, not for us, and definitely not for show.
Awesome. Rate yourself 1 to 5 in each area. 1 means this is a major weakness. 2 means you're strength ready and you're good to go.
Great. So mental
toughness. Can you handle criticism, setbacks, and pressures without losing focus or getting defensive?
Okay.
So think about that for a moment.
Are you a 1?
Are you
somewhere in the middle, or a 5?
Are you taking this too, Erin? Because I'm taking this. Take it.
I am. I just wrote my number down next to you myself. I was like, oh, okay, where would I put myself?
All right, I'm looking forward to this one. Moral courage. Do you do what's right even when teammates won't, coaches don't see, or it can cost you something?
That's a good one. And I would say the 5 is
like you do it all the time. Like you don't even think about it. It's just automatic. So what about your emotional discipline? Can you control your reactions? Bounce back quickly from mistakes and stay composed under stress.
Relational intelligence. Are you good at building trust, resolving conflict, and making team chemistry better?
Good question. And the final one,
To rate yourself on is leadership capacity. Do you influence others positively? Do you take initiative? And do you serve your teammates?
meaning you do it
Without expecting something in return.
All right, it's pretty simple. Add up your scores and type the total in the chat. Don't worry, we're not calling anyone out. We just want to see what a baseline is. Aaron, what'd you get?
I got a
20.
I got a 19, and you know which one I gave myself a 3 on is emotional discipline. Can you control your reactions? I sometimes lose my shit, and I know that. And then if you don't control your emotions, the next play is going to happen real quick. So you got to get your head in the game. And sometimes it could be something so simple as dropping a ball, missing an assignment. When I played football, running track, in practice, dropping a baton, and then it gets in your head that you're like, holy shit, am I going to do that? And when at the track meet and so forth. So I gave myself a 19. All right, cool. We're starting to see some scores come in. 25.
Yeah.
Bullshit. If you gave yourself a 5 on everything, you're just lying to yourself, and that is do a real good gut check here. What I'm seeing here is a lot of 18 to 20, 21s. Appreciate your honesty on that one. The reason why I gave myself a 4 on everything except emotional discipline is I always know that there's room for improvement. I think if you give yourself a 5, you're kind of considering yourself perfect, and then you walk on water. If you do give yourself a 5, I'd love to be able to talk to you more and get you on our podcast.
I love it. Yeah, it's funny you said yours was the emotional discipline. Mine is definitely the mental toughness, and I think sometimes it's the pressure, and also when setbacks and criticism happen, it's like how do you continuously have a growth mindset to power through? So always room for growth, and for me, it depends on moment by moment.
I'm getting a lot of comments here. Emotional discipline, relational to leadership capacity, leadership capacity. Interesting. I appreciate the honesty on that one. That's awesome. Moral courage, mental toughness. I think that everyone has we all have a different road to march. So I appreciate the honesty on this one. Let's move on to the next item of business here. Here's how to interpret your score. We got that 15, 19. We got that. Now let's build your preseason character training program. Just like you wouldn't walk into a season without physical conditioning, you don't want to walk into a workout or a team meeting without character conditioning.
so true.
So we broke this down into 4 weeks to really build your character. And the first one is about mental toughness. So every day, spend 10 minutes visualizing yourself handling adversity well. Think about all the moments where you didn't handle it the way that you wanted to, and think about the way that you want to handle it going forward. Practice seeking feedback and receiving it without getting defensive. The more you ask and the more you have the ability to sit and listen, the more you're going to be able to receive that feedback.
No question. And the 10 minutes of visualization, that's just a starting point as far as I'm concerned. Once I understood the power and the importance of visualization, look, I don't want to get too hocus pocus on you, nor do I want to get real religious with you. Some people meditate, I pray. I'm a Christian, so I spend a lot of time in prayer. And then my prayer leads into the visualization. I feel like I have a walk with God. I know what my visualization is. So when we talk about 10 minutes, sometimes before I even know it, I'm about 15, 20 minutes in, the clarity I have to tackle my next task on the day is just through the roof. So me personally, a little hack, I do things first thing in the morning before I even leave the house, before I even tackle whatever I need to do on my, my critical task list. All right, your challenge for the challenge for week 1 is take one piece of criticism you've received and turn it into an actual improvement action. For those of you that were on our webinar last week, I think it was a tongue in cheek, but I found myself like a couple of comments came through that, why do I need to swear so much? And that was some good criticism, because we do have kids on this, and some of those kids are high school kids. We did have a parent say, hey, I've got a junior high kid. Can you not swear so much? I took that to heart, because I like to think of myself as a leader, a coach, and a mentor of our younger generation. And if I'm out there swearing, that's really not cool. So I took that to heart there, and I actually worked on it. I don't know whether you noticed there, Aaron, but I tried to reel that in a little bit.
You're doing so much better.
You're bullshitting.
I'm noticing reinforcing positive feedback here. So, week 2, we're going to focus on your moral courage. So, every single day, make one choice that reflects your values, even if it's unpopular. Practice speaking up in situations where you normally remain quiet. I love this one. This is actually really a challenge that I sometimes need to take into heart because I don't like conflict. So it's like a lot of times I'll keep stuff to myself, but the only person I'm hurting is me by not voicing what I'm thinking and doing it in a respectful way.
No question. All right, do the right thing when absolutely no one is watching. This builds your moral muscle, and when stakes are low, it's strong. It's not so bad, but when stakes are high, it could cost you everything.
That's so true. So week 3 is
Emotional discipline. Start every day with 5 minutes of breathing or center practice. Thomas already shared some of that, of how he does that. Throughout the day, practice pausing before you react in frustration. So before you react, sometimes it's best to just take a step back and not just react in that moment.
hmm Apologize for one mistake without making excuses. Just own it. No buts, no finger pointing, no shifting blame. Just own it. Move forward. Everyone else will respect you. You don't need an acknowledgement. Pretty much when you own it and you move forward, your teammates are going to recognize authenticity and they'll be right beside you.
I love that. Good challenge for week
3. Week 4 combines the rational intelligence and leadership. Every day, do one intentional act of service for a team member or a teammate. Have one honest conversation that you have been avoiding.
Even if that honest conversation is with yourself, doesn't it just mean with a teammate? Take initiative on something that helps the team without being asked. We all know what that is. I have a fitness company. I walk into the gym, and sometimes weights are misplaced, and the gym etiquette of re-racking your weights. I just take the initiative. I don't point fingers. I don't send out memos or emails or texts asking who didn't clean up the weight room. It's just one example. I just clean it up, move on with my day.
Love that. So important to just be in service of each other. So character conditioning means practicing difficult scenarios before they ever happen. Mental rehearsal for character is just as important as mental rehearsal for plays.
100%. Let's run through some situations that will test your character. Of course, there's millions of these. We're just going to kind of hit the high points of some questions that we've gotten in our DMs and text messages. Your coach yells at you unfairly in front of the entire team. How do you respond?
Yeah, that's a good one to
visualize and work through. A teammate blames you for their mistakes in a critical moment.
You make a costly error that might cost you or the team the game. How do you respond?
That's a good one.
The star player breaks team rules but gets no consequences while others are getting punished.
We've all been there. Parents or fans that criticize your performance on social media, you gotta have thick skin.
Don't react. You have an injury
that threatens your seasons or maybe your career plans.
Type in the chat which scenario would challenge your character the most. Just take a minute, be honest. This helps you and it helps us where your focus and preparation is. Again, no judgment. We just want to see. And if you have something you want to add here as a question, go ahead and throw it in the chat.
I love it. Yeah, what we're seeing is
we got a lot of the coach criticism and team conflict. That seems to come up a lot when we're working with individuals in our program.
Yeah, I think the other one is the star player that breaks the team rules and doesn't have to answer the consequences. That's a reflection of your coach and your culture, and that will tear apart a team in no time. We've all seen that. All right, champions have champion habits, not just physical habits, but character habits. These 8 habits separate leaders from followers.
First one at practice, last one to leave.
This isn't about showing off, it's about setting a standard.
Encourage one teammate every single day. Honestly, guys, you should be encouraging teammates all the time, not just don't just pick out one. No fake hype, no, just genuine encouragement.
I love that. Yes, we want to be genuine. Clean up something that isn't your responsibility. Thomas just gave us that example. Small acts of service build team culture.
How can I help before asking? What's in it for me? Leaders serve first. I've always worked with the backup quarterback as a starting wide receiver. I always wanted to make sure that my backup quarterback got reps. So I needed the extra reps. So we would just get out there and run routes. I would kind of start my own little 7-on-7, bring in some of the backup DBs, and we would just, for another 15, 20 minutes after practice, sometimes a half hour, if we're in a rhythm, we just keep going. So that's about the team. It wasn't just about me.
I love that. How do you own your mistakes immediately without excuses? No buts, no shift blaming, just, you know what? Thank you for that feedback.
Awesome. Celebrate teammates' success like it's your own. Jealousy will destroy a team. Celebrate builds them.
Yeah, you're in it together. You win as a team and you lose as a team. So lifting others up is equally as important. Do you do extra work when no one's watching? What's your character when nobody sees?
Speak the truth when kindness is difficult in conversation. Teams need honest, clear, transparent communication.
Totally agree, And I think what I challenge you here is to pick 3 of these habits that you want to commit to, that you find either the most challenging for you, where you could grow and have the most consistency, or ones you're already good at that you could excel and be an example for others. Make character development as consistent as your workout routine.
Awesome. Yep, go ahead and put that in the chat. We're not going to come back to those. So if you just want to share some with us, we'll take a look at that. Look, you train your body. You don't train your body alone. You have coaches, teammates. The same principle applies to character training.
The character coach, someone who gives you honest feedback weekly. This might be your parent. It could be a mentor, an older teammate that's going to tell you the truth.
You need a character mirror, a teammate who will both call you out and build you up. Someone in the trenches with you who sees you for who you are and it helps you respond under pressure.
I love that. And then you need a character standard. What is your written commitment to yourself around who you want to be? What is your standard you want to hold yourself to?
Who could be your character coach this season? Think of someone who cares about you enough to give you that feedback. We're not talking about just your parents and your girlfriend or your boyfriend, but who is a ride or die foxhole friend that you have on the team or even off the team that can give you some honest feedback.
I love that. And then also have a scorecard for yourself. Sit down and reflect on where you're at every week. How are you doing with what you've committed to do? Just like you would track your macros or your nutrition and your workouts, do the same with your character development.
Just like you set performance goals, you need to set character goals. We recommend 3 types.
So we have leadership goals. How will you influence your team positively? Maybe it's be the voice that speaks truth in difficult meetings respectfully and kindly.
Growth goals. These are super important. Which character weakness will you strengthen? Like to develop patience. Count to 3. Say a couple letters in the alphabet before you react out of frustration.
Great. Service goals. How will you make others better? Something like help one underclassman develop confidence and skills.
These aren't just nice ideas. These are habits that you have to polish. These become your character training targets throughout the season. Write them down, make them specific, refer back to them daily and weekly.
I love that. What's one character goal you can set for yourself this season? And think about how that would positively influence your team.
Right on. Team, we're closing in on 20 minutes. I don't think we mentioned it at the top of the hour. This is only about a half hour. We got about another 5 minutes and we're going to lead into a Q&A. So appreciate you guys hanging tough and hanging tight with us. Your character will be tested this season, no question, and I promise. I'm sure some of you are nodding your head right now because you know that's not pessimism, it's just reality. Having a plan before the crisis hits is like having plays drawn up before the game starts.
We like to call it the 5 Ps. When your character is under attack, first pause. Take a breath before you react. Don't let your emotions make the decision.
Perfect. Next, principles. Ask yourself, what would this person I want to be do in this situation? Or don't make this situation the man or athlete I don't want to be.
I love that. Third, perspective. How will this situation look in 10 years? Will it matter? Will your reaction matter?
People, your team, your fans, your family, your co-workers, if you're in the office, your teammates. Who am I representing with my choices? It all comes down to character.
I love that. And our last one is purpose. What's my bigger mission here? And what am I really trying to accomplish? And how is what's being presented to me in this moment serving that and or detracting from it?
Awesome. Go for it.
This crisis hotspot are predictable. Bad calls by refs, unfair coaching decisions, teammate conflicts, social media drama, it's parents pressure, injury setbacks. We know there's a lot of things that are designed to challenge you, and they're designed to challenge your character and the way that you respond.
No question. Practice the 5 Ps now. We want you to be prepared. We want you to be proactive as opposed to reactive. Use them, understand them before you need them. When you're in the heat of the moment, you won't think clearly. You'll default to what you have practiced always.
I like that. So here's why all this matters. Teams with high character trust each other in clutch moments. When the game's on the line, they don't worry about who's going to fold under pressure.
Character athletes bounce back from setbacks faster. They don't get stuck in self-pity or blame. They process it, move forward, and put it behind them.
I love that. And coaches give character players more opportunities because they know they can handle them. The player with character gets the chance when it matters most.
Character attracts other high character teammates, birds of a feather. Great culture attracts great people.
And here's the big one. Character outlasts talent when talent stops working. When everyone's tired, when everyone's hurt, when everyone's under pressure, character is what separates those and keeps those from not giving up.
The championship formula is really simple. Talent plus character plus opportunity equals championship. You can't control opportunity, but you can control developing your talent and character when the opportunity presents itself. Okay, let's recap what we've covered. Character conditioning is as important as physical conditioning. Use the 4-week character training program to prepare yourself systematically.
Practice character daily habits. Pick 3, make them non-negotiables. Set up accountability systems with a character coach and a character mirror.
Practice character habits daily. Pick 3 habits. Aaron, you already went over that. Prepare for character tests before they happen using the 5 Ps. And set specific character goals for leadership, growth, and service.
And guess what, you guys? We have put together a complete character conditioning toolkit that includes the 4-week training program, character fitness assessment, daily habit tracker, crisis prevention plan, and accountability templates.
The download link is right in the chat right now. This isn't just information. These are tools that Aaron and I use to start the business. These are tools that I use now in my semi-competitive triathlons and endurance races. These are the tools that you need to start using today.
I love that. Now we're open for questions. We've gotten through all of our content. We want to add a ton of value to you. We want to give you tools and resources that are going to actually help you be successful in life.
Awesome. Type your questions in the chat. We've got about 4 or 5 minutes. We're right on target here, Aaron. Nice job. So let's make them count.
Let's do it. Let's see what questions come through.
Okay, here's one.
You, Thomas. Okay, you go ahead.
Are you going to go?
You go.
Okay, here's a great question. How do I handle teammates who don't buy into character standards? Oof.
That's a good one. Do you want to answer that, Thomas, or do you want me to?
I'm just going to refer back to this is a culture issue, and this should start with the coaches. If you have teammates that don't buy into the system, I think that if you must operate as a leader. Like I talked about it earlier, just because you're not a captain doesn't mean you're not a leader. And if you could pull that athlete aside, have a one-on-one, and if things don't change, I think you should bring in the position coach. I don't think you need to go all the way up the flagpole to the head coach, but just go to your position coach.
Great call. Here's another question. Well, it kind of piggybacks on that same thing is, what if my coacher doesn't value character development?
I'm sorry, guys. If you're on a team where a coach doesn't value character development, maybe I don't want to say you're in the wrong sport, because obviously you love that sport. So maybe you just have the wrong coach. And I feel bad for you if you have that. But you know what? Listen, something we talk about at Blueprint is a lot of the times the coaches that you have are a definite mirror of the bosses and leaders that you're going to have in the workforce. So you're going to have bosses that you don't agree with in the workforce. Aaron and I have both seen that when we made the transition. So this is an opportunity for you to really polish your character and kind of work through it. You're going to have to work through it on your own, maybe with some colleagues, but nothing's permanent. Everything will change.
That's so true. Should we take one more question?
Yep. Okay, last question. How do I stay motivated when character growth is slow? It comes down to discipline, guys. I tell this all the time, and forgive me for swearing, but motivation, that bus left a long time ago. It comes down to getting shit done, and you get shit done through discipline.
Yeah, I think the other thing is, if you practice what we've given to you, keeping track of what you're doing so you can see all of the small wins helps build that muscle so you know, yeah, I am making progress.
Awesome. Champions train everything. Let's close this out. Champions train everything, including who you are. Next steps are simple. Download the character conditioning toolkit from the chat. Start with character fitness assessments today. If you're on a different platform other than what we're on right now, just go ahead and DM or email us, and we're happy to fire that off to you. And for those of you who want to go deeper, we have a 5-day character reset program available for a $100 donation. Some of you might know, you've been on the past webinars. I started a foundation called silencethenoise.org. My sister battled mental illness and mental health. She was manic depressive schizophrenic. So I make sure that we understand how important mental illness, mental health is. And so it's a quick donation, a little skin in the game. Everything all proceeds go to NAMI, which is the National Alliance of Mental Illness, which is a huge, huge charity for us. So that it's pretty intensive. It's daily coaching, 5 days, 5 hours, an hour a day. It'll jumpstart your character development.
Yeah, or if you want to jump in straight to developing your own customized plan with us, you can book your call for that as well.
Bottom line, guys, if you take nothing away from this, train your character. It's like your season depends on it, because it does.
And thank you for joining us today. Download the toolkit, start your character conditioning, so you have the season for life and not just on the sports field, and it's focused on who you're meant to become. Thanks for joining us, you guys.
Good job, Thomas. You only had 4 swear words this time as opposed to a lot. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you guys are keeping score. We are competitive. It's about keeping score. So let's try and get that down to 2 or 3 swear words on the next webinar. Thanks, guys, so much for coming in. Appreciate your time. Have a great one.
Thanks, guys.